Sorry. I thought we were doing a thing where we touch each other's faces. Hey guys, my name's Matt and I'm here to tell you a couple jokes. Like, what's the easiest way to confuse somebody with yellow hair? Paint yourself green and throw forks at them. What did one lawyer say to the other lawyer? We're both lawyers. A horse walks into a bar, and many people get up and leave because they see danger in the situation. I am the funniest man in the world. So recently I was at my mom's house, having a swag party. We was popping Diet Coke. Well, I was drinking regular Coke. She was drinking the Diet Coke, because that's what she likes. And anyway, while I was at my mom's house, I happened to go up into her attic, aka where she keeps me while I stay there. I'm serious, she lets me sleep in a hobbit hole type room with a tiny little bed in it. Because clearly she loves me and wants to hide me from her friends. But while I was up there, I stumbled across some old stories that I had written when I was in, public school. I know what you're thinking. Okay guys, sit back, cause he's gonna read us a bunch of stories about poop, but I'm not. I wrote stories about meatballs. Not everything was about poop back then, but clearly, things have changed. Okay, so these are a couple stories that I wrote when I was a kid. I got them published at the greatest publisher ever. The publisher of old wallpaper samples glued to cardboard and then fashioned together with duct tape. This first story is called The Fruit Problem. I think the best part about these is that my teacher put one of these in the book so like people could take it home and check it out from the library, but ain't nobody wanted to read The Fruit Problem. Alright, so once upon a time, actually I'm gonna do this a little more dramatically. Once upon a time, Ryan and Dan had no fruit. Dan said, "What's happening?" "We must have eaten it all," said Ryan. "We have to go to the store and get more fruit," said Dan. So they did, and when they got home, they had an apple and banana snack. It was yummy. And then there's a section for comments, and because nobody checked it out, the book didn't get any comments. Alright, this next story is clearly a childhood fan fiction. I wrote a story about the Ghostbusters. Hopefully it's not copyright infringement to do that. Nobody wanted to check out the Ghostbusters, so that's fun. Once upon a time, there were the Ghostbusters. One day, they had a problem. There were too many ghosts in the city, and they were doing destruction. They're apparently doing destruction to a giant shoe. The Ghostbusters got into their car. Colin drove to the place where the ghosts were. Garrett shot them to hold them still. Colin threw the trap under them and sucked them in. They never came back. Hold on to your pants, because this next story is called The Zoo. Just from the first page and the fact that nobody wanted to check out the zoo either, I can tell that you're gonna be on the edge of your seat by the last page. Which is gonna be soon because there's only 3. Once upon a time, there was a monkey and a seal and a lion, and they were friends. When people came to see them, they would feed them. But one day the zoo was closed and they got hungry. The monkey found a toothpick and picked all the locks. They got out and got the zookeeper to get them some food. And then they went back in their cages. And that's the end of the book. But Steph said, "Good work from Steph, good." I think my favorite part about the story is that the animals were well trained enough to go right back into their cages and not dick around with the zookeeper's belongings. Why was when the zoo closed, why was nobody looking after the animals? I think that I was touching on some serious topics here about, animal abuse and such. Clearly zoos are not a good place for animals, and I saw that as a kid. And I also saw that you can draw a monkey by making it look like a fuzzy toilet seat. Alright, this next story is another piece of fan fiction that I wrote when I was a kid. I'm standing by this one. It's gonna touch on a couple heartstrings. I know we're gonna feel some emotions that you've never felt before. You might even cry, so grab a Kleenex box. I'll wait. Okay, I hope you have the Kleenex box. I hope you had the decency to pause the video to grab one. If not, I'm gonna keep reading and you can just go back and watch it again. This story is titled Mr. Bean. What? I wrote about what I liked, okay? Don't make fun of me. I liked very few things, and the things that I did like, I wrote about. Somebody should publish these into a real, honest-to-God novel book. I would read some of it. Once, Mr. Bean was shopping for something to eat? This guy ran past him. You can see Mr. Bean has got a gray thing in his hand. That's most likely British food. And you can tell that's food by the way that I spelled food, foob. The cops grabbed Mr. Bean instead, and they put him into the car. They took him to jail. He said, "You've got the wrong guy." The cop said, "That's what they all say." "Search me," said Mr. Bean. When they searched him, they found nothing. They let him go. He went home and had supper. The end. As you can tell, my stories when I was a kid had just crazy climaxes and just endings that made you feel good on the inside. I enjoyed that 3/4 of those books ended up with people eating. So those are about all the classic novels that I wrote when I was a kid. Which one was your favorite? So I think I'm gonna go Instagram some pictures of pasta. All right, I love all you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, you should click the like button. I'm just gonna go and do some things. I'll see you guys later.